My name is S.Long, and I live in Newport, and I have a short thing to say, which is next year is 2012. There will be 3 anniversaries. It will be the 100th anniversary of Doris Duke's birth, November 22nd, 2012. And I think everyone here can agree that we want to pull out all the stops to celebrate her birthday, because she really is the benefactor that brought Newport back from the brink with her recognition of the colonial gems that were under the tar paper. Also, it's the anniversary of the birth of Charles Dickens, and it is also the anniversary of the sinking of the Titanic, a boat too big to fail. In honor of Charles Dickens, I thought I would just review a tale of 2 parks. The first park is Ravinsky Park, and in a ceremony in the winter last year, there was a great gathering of Newport notables to celebrate the fact that Ravinsky Park had been given to the land trust with an easement so that the Preservation Society of Newport will retain sole ownership and management of the property, and the easement will ensure that the park will continue to be maintained as a pastoral park in perpetuity. Anyway, a long time, forever. This action will provide an extra level of protection over and above the wording of the deed, legally protecting the character of Ravinsky Park as a bucolic park forever. This is said by Trudy Cox. By granting this easement, we are ensuring the public will always be able to enjoy this beautiful property, and also demonstrating our support for the protection of Newport's historic landscapes as part of our overall mission of historic preservation. The conservation easement will maintain the park as it is, legally prohibiting any subdivision, siting of recreational buildings, permanent billboards or parking lots, unnecessary planting or cutting of trees. So that is Ravinsky Park, which is being preserved as a pastoral and beautiful park. Trudy also said that Queen Anne Park shouldn't be put under a bell jar. Now, I don't think a living park is under a bell jar, and certainly if it's good enough for Ravinsky Park, it should be good enough for Queen Anne Square Park. But I want to pay tribute for the other park, which is Queen Anne Square Park, to a letter that Joe Hall wrote on December 1st. It was published in Newport This Week, and he went to Queen Anne Square Park on Thanksgiving Day, and he writes about what a beautiful, serene experience it is, and how lucky we are to have the park just as it is. And it's a very moving letter, and there have been many wonderful letters written pro and con, but many, many wonderful letters against this park. But to me, this is the essence of the park, Joe's letter. And he's here tonight, and I just want to say that I think that was the most moving letter that I read in the whole controversy. Then we turn to the second park, Queen Anne Square Park, and we have Maya Lin. And her art installation, which is what it is, it's not a park design, it's been described in these letters as an echo crime, savage and brutal. Why? Because she seeks to obliterate the ecosystem already in place in the park, ripping out lovely old growth trees. Now, adding new trees is not the same as your old friends in the park. One tree isn't, trees aren't interchangeable, and you would think that she would know that. Trees are loved for who they are, just like friends are. Removing stately bushes, those bushes, the undergrowth that Peter refers to, are gardens. Removing stately bushes and destroying 2 gardens. In the process of wreaking environmental mayhem, she also stages a blitzkrieg assault on Queen Anne Square's history, annihilating every reminder of Doris Duke herself, removing the boulders Miss Duke installed in the park and bulldozing out the paths that were laid out according to Miss Duke's instructions, and replacing these paths in almost identical configurations with ugly concrete. So that seems to me to be quite a dramatic difference. And there's only one more thing I want to say, that public parks are very important, and in a book at the Redwood Library called Public Parks by Alexander Garvin, which was a gift to the Redwood from the Doris Duke Preservation Fund, there is the following story. Londoners felt that they had the right to use royal parks. In 1726, George II opened Kensington Gardens on Sundays, although sailors, soldiers, and servants in livery were excluded. Legend has it that when his wife, Queen Caroline, asked Sir Robert Walpole what it would cost to enclose Kensington Gardens for her personal use, he replied, "Your crown, ma'am." Now, it is my contention that that if Maya Lin was unfortunate enough to have her design made a reality, that it could cost her crown as an environmentally conscious person. On her website for What Is Missing, she has whatismissing.net. She has a thing of how fast it takes to destroy parks. And she also has a picture of a tree being chopped down. And it's almost as though it's okay for her to fight for the trees in the Amazon and fight for the trees in other places, but she's not fighting for our trees, she's destroying them. So I hope that she won't lose her crown and that we won't have her park and that we'll keep the park we know and love. Thank you.
Thank you.